Keeping Up Appearances is not just a famous British sitcom, it is a timeless symbol of television culture. Airing from 1990 to 1995, the show brought laughter not only through its natural humor but also through the ironic situations born from Hyacinth's excessive self-importance. However, behind the dazzling spotlight and the roaring laughter lies a world of tragedy, hidden struggles, and untold sorrow among its talented cast. These actors, who helped build an iconic piece of television history, were not spared from life's cruelties, battling incurable diseases, suffering unforeseen accidents that altered their destinies, and even meeting mysterious, untimely deaths that left audiences with more questions than answers. Some once stood at the peak of fame, only to find themselves lost in loneliness, while others carried wounds that time could never heal. In this journey to uncover the hidden truths behind Keeping Up Appearances, we will take you closer to the real lives of those who made this legendary show possible. Shocking revelations, long-buried memories, and unheard stories will finally come to light, not only as a tribute to them but as a way to honor the lasting legacy they have left behind for generations to come. Clive Swift, born on February 9, 1936, in Liverpool, England, became a household name for his portrayal of Richard Bucket, the long-suffering husband of the overbearing and socially ambitious Hyacinth in Keeping Up Appearances. His character was a masterclass in quiet endurance, rolling his eyes, sighing in defeat, yet always begrudgingly going along with Hyacinth's grandiose schemes. However, behind the laughter, Swift's real life was marked by professional frustrations and personal disappointments. A Cambridge-educated actor, he initially aspired to a more serious theatrical career, performing with the Royal Shakespeare Company and appearing in notable films such as Frenzy, 1972, and Excalibur, 1981. Yet, despite his early aspirations, he became forever typecast as Richard Bucket, a role he later admitted he had little fondness for. His marriage to renowned novelist Margaret Drabble ended in divorce after years of marital tension, leaving behind 3 children, including son Adam Swift, a philosopher. Though he continued acting in smaller roles, including a guest appearance in Doctor Who, 2007, he reportedly grew bitter toward the entertainment industry, feeling that his talent had been overlooked. In his final years, Swift withdrew from the public eye, battling undisclosed health issues. He passed away on February 1, 2019, at the age of 82, from a short illness, though friends suggested he had struggled with declining health for some time. Helen Christie, born in 1914, was a seasoned character actress whose brief appearance as the registrar in Keeping Up Appearances may have been fleeting, but her career spanned decades of work in British television and theatre. Known for her dignified presence and commanding performances, she appeared in series such as Z Cars, The Avengers, and The Bill, often portraying authority figures or aristocratic women. Despite her professional success, very little is known about her personal life. She never married, and there are no records of children or long-term relationships, leading to speculation that she endured much of her later years in solitude. As the years passed, her appearances became fewer, and she faded into quiet retirement. She died in 1995 at the age of 81, her passing barely making headlines, a quiet end for a woman who had spent her life bringing characters to life on screen. Mary Miller, born on July 26, 1936, in Doncaster, England, won the hearts of audiences as the ever-romantic, flirtatious Rose in Keeping Up Appearances. Taking over the role from Shirley Stelfox in the second season, Miller's version of Rose was both comedic and deeply vulnerable, a woman perpetually in search of love, often chasing after men with unrealistic dreams of romance. Off-screen, however, her own love life was far less glamorous. Though she was married to Raphael D. Frame for over 40 years, little is known about the details of their marriage, fueling speculation that she, like her character, longed for something more. Miller's career extended far beyond television. She was a highly accomplished stage actress, particularly in musical theater. Her crowning achievement came in The Phantom of the Opera, where she originated the role of Madame Giry in London's West End, showcasing her stunning vocal abilities. However, tragedy struck when she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. Despite undergoing treatment, her condition rapidly deteriorated. Ever the professional, she kept her illness private, continuing to work until she was physically unable to do so. On November 10, 1998, at the age of 62, she passed away, leaving behind a legacy of warmth, humor, and undeniable talent. Her death was a tremendous loss to both theater and television, with fans and colleagues alike mourning the passing of a true performer. Shirley Stelfox, born on April 11, 1941, was the original actress to play the flirtatious and eccentric Rose in the first season of Keeping Up Appearances. Though she left the role after only 6 episodes, replaced by Mary Miller, Stelfox's career flourished in British television. She was a familiar face in soap operas, most notably as Edna Birch in Emmerdale, a role she played for 15 years. However, behind her professional achievements lay personal heartbreak. Her first marriage to actor Don Henderson ended in tragedy when he died of throat cancer in 1997, leaving her devastated. Stelfox threw herself into her work, using it as a refuge from grief. In her later years, she continued acting but battled ill health. In 2015, she was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and despite her resilience, she passed away on December 7, 2015, at the age of 74. Her colleagues remembered her as a hard-working, dedicated actress with a wicked sense of humor, but her final years were marked by the sorrow of losing loved ones and the relentless fight against illness. Geoffrey Hughes, born on February 2, 1944, in Wallasey, England, became a beloved face on British television, most notably as the scruffy, beer-drinking, lovable slob Onslow in Keeping Up Appearances. His portrayal of the lazy yet surprisingly wise brother-in-law to Hyacinth Bucket provided a perfect contrast to her high society delusions, making him a fan favorite. But beyond the laughter, Hughes faced his own struggles. Known for his roles in Coronation Street as Eddie Yates and in Heartbeat as Vernon Scripps, he enjoyed steady success, yet his personal life remained largely private. He was married to Susan Hughes, and while the couple appeared to have a happy marriage, there were whispers that fame never sat easily with him. In 2009, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, a battle he fought with characteristic resilience. Though he was initially given the all-clear, the disease tragically returned in 2010, more aggressive than before. Retreating to the Isle of Wight, where he had made his home, Hughes spent his final years in relative seclusion. On July 27, 2012, at the age of 68, he passed away after his long struggle with cancer. His death left a void in British television, and his former co-stars spoke of his warmth, humor, and the irreplaceable presence he brought to every set he worked on. Frederick Jaeger, born on May 29, 1928, in Berlin, Germany, was a versatile character actor whose career spanned decades in British television, film, and theatre. Though his role as Milburn in a single episode of Keeping Up Appearances was brief, he was no stranger to British audiences, having appeared in classic series such as Doctor Who, Secret Army, and Blake 7. Fleeing Nazi Germany as a child, Jaeger built a life in the UK, but the scars of his early displacement lingered throughout his life. He never married and had no known children, preferring a life of quiet solitude off-screen. Though he enjoyed a successful career, he often found himself cast in supporting roles, never quite reaching the stardom that his talent may have deserved. In his later years, he withdrew from the entertainment industry, retreating to the English countryside, where he lived in relative obscurity. He passed away on June 18, 2004, at the age of 76. Though his death was officially attributed to natural causes, those who knew him spoke of his increasing frailty and declining health in his final years, a slow fading away from the world he had once so vibrantly inhabited. Josephine Tewson, born on February 26, 1931, in Hampstead, London, was a familiar face to British audiences for decades, but it was her role as the sweet-natured, nervous Elizabeth Warden in Keeping Up Appearances that cemented her place in television history. Forever jittery in the presence of Hyacinth, Elizabeth's constant tea-spilling and awkward attempts at social niceties made her one of the show's most endearing characters. Tewson's acting career spanned theatre, film, and television, with notable appearances in The Two Ronnies and Last of the Summer Wine. Despite her success, her personal life was tinged with sorrow. She was married to Leonard Rossiter, a talented comedic actor, but their marriage was short-lived and reportedly fraught with difficulties before ending in divorce. The couple had no children, and Tewson never remarried, dedicating herself instead to her craft. In her later years, she continued acting in smaller roles but largely stepped away from the limelight. She spent her final days in Denville Hall, a retirement home for actors, where she passed away peacefully on August 18, 2022, at the age of 91. Though her death was attributed to natural causes, those who knew her well spoke of her quiet loneliness in later years, a stark contrast to the warmth and humor she brought to screens throughout her career. Jerald Sim, born on June 4, 1925, in Liverpool, England, was a familiar presence in British film and television, often portraying figures of authority such as doctors, judges, and, in his appearance in Keeping Up Appearances, a vicar. His distinguished, understated performances earned him a place in countless productions, including Gandhi, 1982, A Bridge Too Far, 1977, and The Fall and Rise of Reginald Perrin. He was the brother-in-law of the celebrated director Richard Attenborough, which afforded him strong connections in the industry, though he remained a modest, unassuming figure. Sim married the actress Shirley Sim, but their relationship was overshadowed by the immense fame of her brother, Richard, and the couple often lived in his shadow. As the years went on, Sim's career slowed, and he spent his final years in Denville Hall, a retirement home for actors, where he lived after the death of his wife. In his later life, dementia took hold, leaving him a shadow of his former self. He passed away on December 11, 2014, at the age of 89, his final days marked by quiet solitude and fading memories of a lifetime spent in the industry. Charmian May, born on June 16, 1937, in Pembroke, Hampshire, England, was a character actress whose refined demeanor and sharp comedic timing made her a frequent presence in British television. In Keeping Up Appearances, she appeared in 3 episodes as Counselor Mrs. Nugent, one of Hyacinth Bucket's desired high society connections, embodying the kind of social status Hyacinth desperately sought to impress. May's career extended far beyond this role. She was a staple in British sitcoms and dramas, with notable appearances in The Good Life, Rumpole of the Bailey, and Bridget Jones's Diary, 2001, where she played the stern Mrs. Darcy. Despite her steady career, May's personal life remained largely private. She never married and had no children, devoting herself entirely to acting. Colleagues described her as a consummate professional, but also someone who carried an air of loneliness, preferring to keep her personal struggles out of the spotlight. In her later years, as roles became scarcer, she withdrew from the public eye. Tragically, her life was cut short by cancer, which she battled quietly. She passed away on October 24, 2002, at the age of 65. The news of her death was met with sadness from those who had worked with her, though she remained an enigmatic figure even in her final days, remembered more for the characters she brought to life than the personal struggles she endured in silence. Patricia Routledge, born on February 17, 1929, in Tranmere, Cheshire, England, is best known for her brilliant portrayal of Hyacinth Bucket in Keeping Up Appearances. With impeccable comedic timing and an unmatched ability to embody Hyacinth's desperate yet delusional quest for social prestige, Routledge turned the character into one of the most beloved figures in British television history. However, her career spanned far beyond sitcoms. She was a distinguished theatre actress, winning an Olivier Award for her performance in Candide and appearing in numerous Shakespearean productions. She also had a successful career in musical theatre, displaying an extraordinary singing voice that surprised those who only knew her from television. Despite her professional success, Routledge's personal life remains a mystery. She never married, never had children, and has rarely spoken about romantic relationships, leading many to wonder if she ever found true companionship. Some suggest that her devotion to acting left little room for personal entanglements, while others believe she simply preferred solitude. In later years, she stepped away from the spotlight, turning down opportunities for a Keeping Up Appearances reunion and declining most interview requests. Now in her mid-90s, she lives a quiet and reclusive life, rarely seen in public, though her legacy endures. Fans continue to adore her work, and she is often cited as one of the greatest comedic actresses of all time. Judy Cornwell, born on February 22, 1940, in Hammersmith, London, charmed audiences as Daisy, the cheerful yet romantically frustrated wife of the perpetually lazy Onslow in Keeping Up Appearances. Unlike Hyacinth, Daisy had no illusions of grandeur. She longed for love and passion but was instead stuck in a marriage where she was constantly ignored. Cornwell's ability to balance humor with a subtle sadness made Daisy a deeply relatable and endearing character. Her career, however, extended well beyond the sitcom. She appeared in a variety of television dramas and films, including Santa Claus, the movie, 1985, and Doctor Who, showcasing her versatility as an actress. She is also a published author, having written several novels, proving her talent went beyond acting. In contrast to many of her co-stars, Cornwell found stability in her personal life, having been married to journalist John Kelsall Perry for decades. While there have been no public scandals or heartbreaks in her romantic life, she has faced the ups and downs of aging in the entertainment industry, where roles for older women have become scarce. In her later years, Cornwell has mostly retired from acting but remains active in engaging with fans, occasionally appearing at conventions and interviews to discuss her time on Keeping Up Appearances. Now in her 80s, she lives a peaceful life, but she continues to be fondly remembered as one of British television's most beloved comedic actresses. David Griffin, born on July 19, 1943, in Richmond, Surrey, England, was best known for his role as Emmett Hawksworth in Keeping Up Appearances. As Elizabeth's exasperated brother and an unwilling victim of Hyacinth Bucket's relentless social ambitions, Emmett provided some of the series' most memorable moments. His fearful reactions whenever Hyacinth attempted to sing were comedic gold. Before his time on Keeping Up Appearances, Griffin had an extensive career in British television, appearing in Hi to Hi as squadron leader Clive Dempster and guest starring in various beloved series such as Doctor Who and Rumpole of the Bailey. Despite his charm and career success, Griffin's personal life remained a more private affair. He never married, and there were no widely known long-term romantic relationships, which led to speculation about whether he found true happiness off-screen. He continued working in theater after the series ended but largely stepped away from television. In his later years, he faced financial struggles as work opportunities dwindled, and he lived a relatively low-profile life. Though he is no longer in the spotlight, fans still remember him fondly for his brilliant comedic timing and the warmth he brought to Emmett's character. Jeremy Giddens, born on January 30, 1956, in Manchester, England, played the well-meaning but often flustered Michael, the local vicar in Keeping Up Appearances. As a man of the church, Michael tried his best to remain patient, but Hyacinth's overbearing nature often left him bewildered and exhausted. His character provided some of the most subtly hilarious moments in the series, especially whenever Hyacinth tried to force him into uncomfortable social situations. Beyond Keeping Up Appearances, Giddens had a long career in British television, appearing in EastEnders, Doctors, and The Bill, among others. Though his professional life flourished, little is publicly known about his private life. Unlike many of his co-stars, he has managed to avoid major scandals or dramatic relationships in the public eye. However, aging in an industry that often favors younger actors has come with its challenges. While he still takes on occasional acting roles, his television appearances have become infrequent, and he now leads a much quieter life. Fans of Keeping Up Appearances continue to recognize and appreciate his work, even as he remains largely out of the spotlight. What do you think about the deaths of the actors from Keeping Up Appearances, and who do you remember the most? Leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to watch the latest videos.